All right, you guys, I am back from the Pinners Conference. It is the next day. I'm sitting here in my dining room, by the way. That's why you see a bar behind me. It's not because I'm getting plastered because of the Pinners Conference. It was actually a really, really good experience. So the way that everything works is you buy your ticket up front. I bought the 2-day ticket. It was $49. That allowed you to get into the conference and to register in advance for any class that you wanted to that would kind of fit within the schedule. They had multiple classes happening during the weekend, and there was a Friday and Saturday class. And so if there were 5 different classes starting at 2 o'clock, you could only register for one of those. And that kind of makes sense. Then if you wanted to participate, you could buy the kit in advance when you purchased your tickets, or you had the option to purchase the kit while you were at the conference, right before the class started. They would literally let you in the classroom, and then if you needed to buy a kit, you'd go on that side of the room. If you already bought your kit, you would go on that side of the room. It was actually pretty organized and very well kind of laid out. The kits ranged anywhere from $18 up to about $45. So what I did was, when I bought my ticket, I registered for, I think it was 10 different classes throughout the day. On each day, I forget what the max was. And then I purchased 4 kits. I purchased 2 kits for Friday, 2 kits for Saturday. And I did that when I first bought my ticket about 2 months before the conference. Then I was able to go back into my kind of ticket account and add additional kits as my budget permitted. So I would definitely do that strategy all over again if the opportunity comes up. I'm hoping they'll come back to Georgia, because I did have a pretty good time. The one thing I will say is that if you choose to wait and purchase your kit when you're actually on site, then you may miss the opportunity, because there was a couple classes where they did run out of kits. And so if you like to craft, if you like food-related DIY, if you like sewing, if you like painting, they've got you covered, because the Pinners Conference has a little bit of everything. Now, it is not a YouTube-only or a crafting-only conference by any means. It's DIY. So we'll just jump right into it. The first class that I took, I believe her name was Fuja, and her Instagram is called Paper to Petals, and she was lovely. I'll have everybody's info here on screen if I don't show you like a card or something, but we learned to make these paper flowers. How beautiful and luscious and large is this paper flower? Now, this is all made with cardstock, and I really loved this so much. I could absolutely see myself recreating these and making them on my channel for you guys, because you can make these a lot of different sizes. They are beyond easy to make. And this was the kit, and you got these paper kind of petals that were already cut out. You got this thing that was laid flat, and then you kind of roll it up to make the center. But how beautiful is this? This was definitely a highlight. This was the first class that I took on Friday, and it was a lot of fun. So I obviously got to bring my flower home, which was a lot of fun. The next class that I took was by Couture. And earlier in the day, I had been just kind of walking around and checking out the vendor booths and things. And I ran into like 5 or 6 people that recognized me from YouTube, and they came up and said hello. They gave me their business cards. All of them had it like independent designer on the card from Couture. And I was like, oh, cool, you guys work for Couture. I'm gonna go to the class later on. So I went to the class, and it was beyond fun. I really, really loved it. And I did join as an independent designer, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about that, what that all involves. So this was the kit. Now, keep in mind, this kit was $30. This was the most expensive kit that I've purchased. But the amount of stuff you got in it. So the first class was called like Fun with Frames or something like that. And the first thing we got was this sign. This is a 2-sided sign, and it's kind of like a chalkboard material. I'm gonna say it feels like chalkboard anyway. It's got the wood thing. It was all like unassembled. Oh, Did you hear that? It's all unassembled, and it was really, really fun. There was a beautiful stencil that we did for this particular class, and I, like a bonehead, put mine upside down because the stand wasn't connected to it when I was doing the project. And so this was the stencil that we used, and y'all, this stencil has been cleaned. This is a clean stencil, and the way that it looked was supposed to be like that, but me being the bonehead that I am, I put mine upside down. So if you didn't know this about Chalk Couture, all you have to do is spray water on this, and the paint, the chalk paint comes off, the chalk paste comes off. So if you mess something up, or you're a bonehead like me and you put things upside down, you can wipe it off and start all over again. Where can you do that with other things? So that was really, really cool. So that was the first thing in the kit, and that was actually the first project that we did. So I didn't start off real good. By the way, I sat next to a wonderful woman, and she was one of the Chalk Couture designers. She helped me kind of through the process, and she did come up and say hello. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've lost everybody's business cards. There's one lady that I do remember, and I'll talk about her in just a second. But the second thing that we received was a really, really amazing set of stencils, and it was this as well as that. So the yay for today was attached, and I separated it. Now that was also used. You can kind of see some smudges there. This was also clean because with the Chalk Couture stencils, you can reuse them because they have like this adhesive back that's kind of reminds me like a Post-it note, but it will stick up to 12 or 15 times. It may even be 18 times. And you can reuse this stencil. So it's kind of tacky there. And it was used on this beautiful sign. Now you may be thinking, Jamie, where is it? It's not upside down. Don't worry, I didn't do that one upside down. But how beautiful is that? And so it's got a nice thick frame. It's got the metal insert there. And then the idea is that you could do a different saying on that side. And keep in mind, they gave us all these additional stencils so we can do this like at home at another time. Now you guys might be thinking, how in the heck did he get all those beautiful colors in that stencil? Well, the lady that was teaching this class, her name is Debbie. She has a channel called Refresh Restyle, and she was amazing. She was really, really cool. She also had worked with Chalk Couture. She has on Facebook Refresh Restyle, and she did something, I kind of call it almost like a dirty pour, where if you're working with pour paints and you're just kind of putting in multiple colors, you literally take the stencil. I'll flip it on this side so I'll show you. You take the stencil, and then you just dab a bunch of blobs of paint across the stencil. Now this is not obviously stuck to this, but you get the idea. And then you take these little squeegees that they gave you, and you just kind of rub it across the stencil. And when you do that, it creates the most beautiful yay for today sign, or again, any of these other ones that you wanted to use. So that was really cool. And then the lady that was sitting next to me, because she had kind of worked with Chalk Couture, she actually gave me one of her extra signs. So I have an additional one of these, and some of the paints and things that we didn't use. In your kit, you also got some of these little paint trays, which are kind of reusable. They're plastic. It's great because you can wash them just like you can the stencils. You get a couple of these little squeegees, and I need to clean mine off. And then you also get these kind of samples of the different types of chalk paste. And what's cool is that you can actually buy all of these online, and I did end up joining and being a Chalk Couture affiliate, independent designer. I'm not sure what they call it yet. I'm sorry if I don't know what it's called yet. But you can buy these individual packets of paint. You can buy these stencils. I've got them all linked in the description box below. And if you join, you can join as a club member, and I think it's 30% off. And the monthly is, I think it's $10. Maybe it's $20. There's a link in the description box that's going to tell you everything. Then you get, or no, I think it's $9.95 a month, but then you get a $20 credit on top of that. So 30% off for sure. $20 credit each month to use towards purchasing your own supplies. And you get a great discount on top of that. Or you could become a designer and you get 40% off of your supplies. And that's a good thing too. So all of the Couture kits I'm going to show you today, and the stencils and things, they're not kitted up like they were for us there, but I do have them listed in the description box. So if there's something you see here and you think, oh my gosh, I really like that, then you can run out and grab it. So that was day one. That was everything day one. Day two, I took another Couture class. Or wait, I'm sorry. I also took, what was the other class that I took? Paper flowers, Couture. Okay, and this is going to be out of order, but it doesn't matter. So the Ryobi, ding, the Ryobi class. So the Ryobi class was taught by professional instructors. All of the classes were, by the way, and they gave us this glass here, which with the wood lid and the curved straw, very, very cool. Apparently there were some straws that were curved and there were some that were straight, and the curved straws were very, very popular. So I was excited to get one. But this is glass, and I love this because I can reuse this. I can put this in the dishwasher. It's all dishwasher safe except for the wood lid, of course. And you can see the kind of rainbow etching. I'll put my hand there so you can really see it better. And the etching I did with the Ryobi etching tool, and I thought this was super fun. It's one of those things, I'll be honest, I don't know if I would necessarily take the class again. Ryobi, if you want to send me one of those etching tools, I'll definitely take it, and I'll create more stuff for you. But again, unless it's a different kind of a glass or something. I've seen some of the classes in the past online. They did like pie pans and like glass pie pans and things like that, which definitely could be cool. So we'll see. We'll see. The other classes that I took on day two, there was actually one. Let me grab one over here. I've stuffed some other things in this bag though, so let me take those out real quick because that's more of the shopping. So the other classes I took, I took this DIY tray making class, and this was the one that was $18. So you would get a slice of wood, and you can see that there's holes that are drilled right there, and they gave you handles to be able to kind of screw in there, and you also got the screws. So you got two handles, you got the slice of wood, and then they do give you the paints to use. These paints you didn't get to take home, but they had like little buckets of paints and stuff that you could use while you were there. And they had, you could do a watermelon, you could do a lemon, you could do a orange, a slice obviously, or you could do a football, or you could do a baseball. And I want to say there was one more. I kind of thought I could have done a cookie if you took a bite out of this. But anyway, this is what my little watermelon slice ended up looking like. I did not put the handles on my tray yet because I want to touch up some of the white. This was definitely out of my comfort zone because I usually do not free paint a lot of stuff. And this was something I'm very glad that I did. When I first looked at it at the class, I absolutely hated it. I was really embarrassed. But the more I look at it, it's not that bad. And again, once I touch up the white a little bit, then I think it'll be great. I really do think it's gonna be great. One of the ladies that was sitting next to me suggested that I take some, there's like a whisker brush or something, and it's a real small one. And she recommended that I dip it in water and then just kind of go along the edges here. And that would kind of pull some of the green and white and make it look more like a watermelon. And then do the same with the red and white. So I'll give that a try. I'll give that a try. Again, it was something that was out of my comfort zone, but I do think it was fun and I enjoyed it. I know that my watermelon has a lot of seeds in it, but it was still fun. So day 2, Couture class. This was also another really, really impressive kit. So you got 3 kind of pieces of this wood. And in each Couture class, we did 2 projects, and they gave you ample amount of things. So this was project number 1, because remember I had 3 of these, and I wanted to kind of reserve. But the spring botanicals, and you could hang this like this class was called Porch Perfection, I believe. And so this spring botanicals, this was one of 4. I do need to go in and clean this, but Debbie said that we can take these, we can soak these in hot water, and they will clean up. So don't yell at me for not cleaning my stencils fully. I didn't have the help in that class, but this is the other ones, and you can get these spring botanical stencils, and you can buy like these blanks and everything. Obviously you can buy blanks and stuff at other places like Dollar Tree and things too, but super, super cute. And that gold foil paint, like how pretty is that? So that was project number 1. Then project number 2, they gave us this sign, and you can buy these again on the Couture site, and it is linked in the description box below for you. And I made this sign that says, "Welcome to the porch, where wasting time is considered time well spent." And you guys know I love my front porch. And we did this. It's all one stencil. This stencil needs to be cleaned for sure. And I did clean it actually some. So that was the other stencil. And as you can see, it's a really, really big stencil. And by the way, this fits perfectly. So that is something that I do really like about the Couture stuff. You can buy, like, you could literally buy this whole thing. You could buy this piece, this side, you could buy this stencil. And then if you were a patio lover instead of a porch lover, they gave you the option. So this did all come together. I think that was probably something like that. And then no, I just kept my cardboard, and you keep the backing to put everything in. Again, I can wash this in hot water, soapy water, clean it, it'll be fine. But you had the option of changing out the word patio for porch, which I thought was really, really cute, super, super versatile. It wasn't like there were unlimited paint colors that came in the kits. You know, they had a defined look and everything and a theme with the colors. So that was the colors that they were given to me. And again, you got the squeegees, you got the paint pieces, you got everything like that. So that was certainly very, very cool. The other class that I took was from this company. It's called Stone City Farms. And Stone City Farms did like body scrubs and sugar scrubs and stuff. This was the class that I'm probably the most like meh about. And I think because it is kind of fairly easy. Now I did get 4 of these, but I've already given out 2 of them. These were super cool because you picked the color. They gave you 4 of these empty containers. You got a quart-sized bag with sugar and salt mixed in there, or maybe it was just sugar. And then they had oils, and they had the scents, and then they had the colors that you could kind of mix together. Now, the instructor for this class, she was lovely. She was busy. She was overwhelmed. She was selling the pre-made kits to people that didn't purchase the kits in advance, and then trying to get the class started because there's multiple classes, you know, following behind us, and you have to be on time and on that schedule. So it was a little discombobulated because she was having to kind of go back and forth, and she was wearing like the wireless mic thing, and she was doing her best with that. There were also people in the class that had taken this type of stuff before, so they were able to kind of walk some people through that, which I thought was really cool. I was originally going to do an orange lemon scented scrub and put both of them in. So when I got the orange, I initially thought, okay, let's go ahead and put the orange scent in there and then the lemon scent in there. And then I would pick a color. So what I ended up doing was putting the orange coloring in here And then I just ended up going with a whole different scent. So the scent is actually called Cashmere, and it smells really, really good, and it is something that I'm excited to use. And what I'm going to do with these is I've got a real estate sticker that's a round sticker, so I'm going to put them on the top and then use these as like little gifts if I do a showing or if I have a client that I'm meeting out before they go home for the day, because sometimes it can be really crazy when you're looking at houses all day. This is something that I'm going to give them. So all in all, not a bad thing at all. So that was that class. And then I feel like I'm forgetting a class. So let me think. Paper flowers, 1, 2, Chalk Couture, the sugar scrub, and there's another class that I'm missing. So I have to figure that out. I may end up adding that to this video. So then the shopping haul. Wait, let me think. Paper flower, sugar scrub, Ryobi, 2 Chalk Couture. Yes, there's one other class that I'm forgetting, and I thought that I had piled up everything here on the table. I can't remember. All right, let's get into the shopping haul stuff. The shopping haul stuff, they had all these different vendors that were out there, and you could purchase kind of individual little craft kits. You could do all kinds of different things. They had these little breakout tables that were kind of sponsored by the different vendors. Like, for an example, one of these was a company called Crafty Kits to go. And let me grab it. I put my chair too far away where I've got everything stuck. And this is an example of a little breakaway table craft. Now, I unfortunately broke mine, but I can glue it. So I made this little nightlight, this little cardinal nightlight, and they gave you the unpainted cardinal and the little twigs that he's sitting on, and then they gave you the little nightlight, and that's unfortunately where it broke. But it could be glued together for sure. And then you just kind of popped it on top of this little nightlight, and when you plug this in, there's a little light bulb kind of right behind here at the top. This was called Crafty Kits to go, and you could buy all these kind of little kits that you could then take home with you and make something like this, or you had the option to do that kind of on site. And that was really fun. I enjoyed doing that. As you guys know, cardinals are very, very kind of known, I guess, for family members that have passed on and things like that. So I wanted something like that to kind of remember my grandmother and grandparents, I should say. So that was that. Then I bought another kit that was a bunch of little like wooden airplanes. And basically you got these kits like this. I've already built them for you, that were flat, and there were 4 airplanes in there. So this is why I bought the kit, first of all. You guys know I went to Key West recently, and I bought this little seaplane. This was one of the kits, and I wanted to, like, look, the wheels work, the little propeller works in the front. And you guys know I went on a seaplane. Here's the shirt, actually. I went to the Dry Tortugas on a seaplane. Wow. And the seaplane I just thought was adorable. And I think I'm going to actually give this to my friend who I went with because it was her 50th birthday. So we'll see. I may just keep it for myself. Or maybe I'll order her one. And then there was a blimp, like a little Goodyear blimp. That's probably the one I'm like least excited about, to be honest. And then there was a little helicopter. How cute. Again, you've got these little gears that kind of do things. And then this little airplane, which was, thank God, not the small airplane that we flew to the Keys on. And again, it's got these little kind of gears and things that they don't really help it move or anything. But still super, super cute and a lot of fun. And I think I paid $10 and you got the 4 of those. And I ended up building these when I got home because I like to do stuff like this. It's kind of reminded me of like models and things. And again, it was just 4 of these types of things. And then you just pop them out. This reminds me, and it even smells like a Glowforge. So they probably have like a Glowforge on steroids that makes all these little kits. Food vendors there, and there was a guy there, and I'll have his info up here on screen. He was selling pickles. And y'all probably thinking, what in the heck did you buy so many pickles for? impulse buy. I bought pickles, but also they're really good pickles. There's a bunch of different flavors that he has. These are a sweet horseradish, and they're really, really good. My mouth is like watering thinking about them, but it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I don't want to eat those right now. And then these are Old Bay seasoned pickles. These are the freshest, crunchiest, yummiest pickles. They were a little pricey for pickles, I guess, but considering the amount that I grabbed, I've got a barbecue coming up, and I think I'm gonna bring one of those containers of pickles to that barbecue, and they're delicious. I'm only gonna bring one container though, and I don't know which container just yet. So the other things that I bought was from a chef, and the chef, whoopsie, Otis was running around down there. So the chef, her name is Cooking with Tiffany. So her name is Tiffany. She had these season packets that you could buy. This is the first season packet that I found that I really, really liked, and it's called Make It Pop Honey Barbecue Popcorn Seasoning. That was what drew my attention right away. And you can see that I've already used some of it, because when I came home, I made a bag of popcorn with this almost immediately, because it was super, super, super yummy. And she had you could buy like 3 and get a discount. So this was the all over everything seasoning. And this is the sweet citrus and spice seasoning. And they sound amazing. And if those other two, I did taste them there, but I don't remember exactly. If that first one that I've tried already on popcorn is any indication of what the other ones are going to taste like when you put them on chicken or shrimp or anything, I'm going to be a happy boy. There was a company called, I saved their card here. There was a company called Meanwhile Back on the Farm. And this Meanwhile Back on the Farm company was super, super cute. And they had a bunch of like hats and handmade bags and different things that you could buy. And I bought this hat because I thought it was kind of silly. I thought it was really cute. I like the camo. I like the rooster on it, and thought that that would be really fun to just kind of wear out and about, especially this summer. Y'all, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but Otis is running around like a crazy cat right now. He's got the zooms. He's zooming all over the place. I think it's because I'm not sitting on the floor and he can't come and say hello, but that's what's going on if you hear that in the background, especially with the little crash over there. All right, so the other things that I purchased, and then I was gifted something as well. I went over to Couture and I found this stencil, and this is down in the description box as well. And I thought this was really, really great. And I thought for this in particular, because I really like that Sunshine State of Mind one, and I want to use that. And the Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy is super fun. And that could easily go on the other side, or I could use that other one. Again, you can reuse these like 12 different times, 12 to 18 different times. So I can make many of those signs if you want. And then their stencils or their creative design, from what I understand, are not royalty free, but you get permissions to, like if you have an Etsy store or something, you could use this stencil on something and you could make items to sell in your Etsy store, and they give you I'm gonna say they give you the rights. I don't know if that's the right phrasing or not, but you're allowed to do that with their stencils. So I thought that was kind of cool too. Not that I have time to open an Etsy store by any means, but that was kind of cool. So I went over to the Couture booth. I was over there a couple different times. And by the way, too, I meant to mention this earlier. I ran into a lady named Bonnie, and Bonnie was super, super sweet. She came up, she said hello. She said she recognized me from YouTube, and she put her daughter, Tara, on the phone. Tara was super sweet. She said that she was watching one of my videos while her mom called her. Her mom basically called her from the conference and was like, hey, Jamie from the Crafty DIY guy is here, and put me on the phone with her. And then I ended up talking to her. And then Tara has a daughter named Rylan, which is Bonnie's granddaughter. And Bonnie works with Couture as well. And she has a Facebook group, I believe, called Bonnie's Craft Room. So I told her I would say hello and give her a plug and, you know, give her a shout out. So check out Bonnie. But her daughter, Rylan, or her granddaughter, Rylan, was beautiful and super, super cute. And her mom posted a video of showing Rylan the picture of me and her grandma together. So it was sweet. It was really, really sweet. So I go back to the Chalk Couture booth, and there is this, I'm running into this lady named Brandy. And by that time, I've already taken one class, and so I was kind of addicted. And Brandy was the vice president of marketing. She came up, she said hello, she introduced herself. We started talking about just kind of becoming like a designer, or affiliate, whatever they call it. I'm still learning it all. And she gifted me something that I wanted from the booth. And I had no idea what to even ask for, or, you know, I didn't want to be greedy or anything like that. So she gave me this birdhouse kit. So this is kind of the types of kits that were there. So this is 4 pieces, or probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So it's sides and the top of the birdhouse. And then you get the paints as well. I do have a better picture of this, and I'll share that on screen here for you so you can see. And then you also get these stencils, and these stencils allow you to kind of decorate each side of the birdhouse. And obviously this is optional. You can do whatever you want with your birdhouse, but you got that one. These are kind of like shingles for the roof. You got this kind of polka dotted one. There's another polka dotted one here that I know is a little hard to see. And then you got this really cute like bumblebee that he's got like a little trail going. And when you're working with the stencils, they dry really, really quick. So like, for example, if you wanted to do, I don't know, let's say this one here, and you wanted to do that like on the front, and then you wanted to go in and add this bumblebee, you do this stencil, you pull it up, you let it dry, you clean your stencil properly, and then you take the bumblebee and just layer it right on top, and then do this stencil. And once everything is dry, they don't bleed together and things like that. So it's kind of cool. And then I would imagine, just kind of based on what we did with that dirty pour for the Yay Today, that maybe the colors don't bleed together, or don't bleed together right away. I don't know how else to describe it, because we were kind of mixing our palettes together. We weren't really doing like this. We were just kind of dragging. So that's probably why. But anyway, I don't know if that made any sense or not to y'all. Then I bought this. This is a kit that you can buy. It's kind of a good like getting started kit. This cloth is multi-purpose. It folds out flat, and it's probably about the size of this cardboard, if not even a little bit bigger. And the cloth rather, one side allows you to fuzz your stencils. So anytime you're working with the Chalk Couture stencils and you want them to be able to be sticky, to not only maintain the stickiness, but then to also adhere properly to whatever surface you're going to be doing as a stencil, you would kind of bounce it up and down on this one side of this cloth, and then that would kind of help it be tacky to stick to the surface, to allow, you know, not bleeding and different things like that. And then the other side of it, I think, is for cleaning. And they have these sponges that are kind of like board erasers, kind of imagine like the magic erasers, but so much better. And then some scissors, and there might be, yes, there's like some little tools here. And again, some of this, I don't even know what it's for yet. I think these are squeegee tours and like detail kind of tools. But that's a cool kit. And I did purchase this one. This was $24, I believe. And if you're a member, now you get it even cheaper than that. So I was not a member when I bought that. So that's everything. I wish I could remember what that other class was, because I purposely took 6 classes. I want to say it was on the second day. Oh, it was the sugar scrub class, because I took sugar scrub, I took Ryobi, and I took Chalk Couture on one day, and then I took Chalk Couture, paper flower. No, there's still one. I'm still missing one, so sorry for whatever class that was. I don't know why I can't remember that one. I'm sad. I wish I had it here in front of me. But anyway, would I do the Pinners Conference again? The answer is yes, I would. I would definitely plan a little bit more in advance. I would purchase my tickets for the day, and then I would go ahead and add the classes that I want to. Keep in mind, though, they will add additional classes as you get closer to the event, so you may have to shift some of those things around. And then buying the kits, I would, if my budget permits, I would go ahead and purchase the kits up front for the ones that I knew I was going to take, and then I would add additional kits before. They shut down ordering the kits, I want to say, like pre-ordering the kits anyway, I want to say about a week before, because I tried to go in the night before and add some additional kits, and I couldn't. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer, I guess, but it was still possible because the two add-on classes, the sugar scrub and the one I can't remember, I bought those kits up front. Oh, the watermelon tray. Did I say the watermelon tray? That was one, but I don't think that was an add-on. So anyway, those were the classes. Let's see. Watermelon tray, 2 chalk couture trays, the sugar scrub, the glass etching. I'm still forgetting one. But anyway, would I do it again? Yes, I absolutely would. It was fun. I would definitely plan ahead, work with the budget a little bit more to be able to stretch it out, because I'm just doing YouTube right now full time, because real estate is kind of, this is my only kind of source of income right now. So I'm having to budget a little bit more than normal. And that is still something that I would repeat. I would do the Pinners Conference again. I don't know if I'd do 2 days again. It would probably really just depend on the classes and everything. But again, super, super cool. A lot of fun. Oh, there was one other thing that I did remember. There was a network that I ran into, and I'd never heard of this network before, and it's called Make It Myself TV. And Make It Myself TV is actually a 24-hour crafting network. And they have, it looks like content that probably were creators that put it on YouTube maybe at one time, or maybe it was on, you know, some other channels, and they've either purchased it or there's kind of a revenue share or something. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's a app that you can download if you have like a Fire TV, or you have a Roku, or like a Samsung TV, Vizio, I'm reading on the back here. Then you can download this app, and it is 24/7 crafting. Now you can go to the live and just kind of keep the live on, and there'll be all different kinds of things. And then you can search by individual categories. So there's some creators on there that have series, and then there's some creators on there that have just kind of one-offs and different things. I might be on Make It Yourself TV, who knows? It's something that I think we're gonna be talking this week about. And again, it's a free network, so go ahead and download it if you want. I will have a QR code. There's a QR code on the back of this card, but I'll have it kind of up here on the screen so you can kind of see that and get an idea. But super, super fun. Overall, I would say absolutely yes. And I know as soon as I end this video, I'm gonna remember what that additional class was. But again, would I do it again? Yes, I definitely would. I would plan it in advance. The only kind of drawback, because I did say I would give you some cons, there were two. So in the vendor area, there were some vendors that were kind of aggressive. If you're going like in the mall and you walk past those vendors that want to clean your eyeglasses, or they want to clean your ring, they are kind of aggressive. When they were there at the conference, and they would get your glasses or your ring, and then they would just kind of hold on to it forever while they were kind of giving you their spiel. And it was like $200 or like $100 or $180, something like that, for this crazy cream to clean your rings with, and then the spray to clean your glasses with. And I was just like, but can I have my ring back? Can I have my glasses back? And the price went down from like $200 originally down to like, I think 60 was the lowest that I got for like a, you know, show special. And then there was these phone case people that were also kind of aggressive, and they had like three booth spaces. They had a really big booth space, and there was a lot of people working in it. And so they were kind of sitting on the edge, like like little barracudas like trying to come at you and get you. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone case. Do you know you can buy this? And I'm like, no, no, thank you. No, thank you. Because I like my phone case. That was probably the only con like in the vendor area. And then in the classroom area, they had 3 classrooms that were kind of outside the main conference area, but the majority of the classrooms were all within the conference area. And if you've ever been in a big conference room like that, the ceilings are really loud and it's usually kind of echoey. And so there would be like 2 classes next door to each other. And if you were in one class, there was always another class going on right next to you. So because the dividers were just like cloth, pipe and drape kind of dividers, it was really hard to hear sometimes because you would get a lot of background noise, and like background noise just doesn't do well for me because it's very distracting. They were all on microphones and there were speakers, but still you would be hearing what was going on in the class next door. And they would have to ask, you know, hey, could so-and-so go and ask that instructor to turn down their mic a little bit? So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. So what I ended up doing after the first class was I ended up just going and sitting closer to the front or sitting closer to one of the speakers so I could hear better. The classes that were outside of the kind of main conference area, those were great because they were regular conference rooms with walls and they were separate dividers. They were smaller though, so I wish that they would have almost flip-flopped it. Like the more popular classes, the Couture classes were very popular. The Ryobi class was very popular. I do wish that they would have kind of swapped and put the more popular classes in the individual private rooms, because I think they kind of warranted that. You know what I mean? Like the kits were expensive and the attendance was big, but I'm sure it was just a spacing thing. That's probably it. So I would definitely say yes. Check this out. I know it was a long video, but I hope it gave you a lot of really good information. All of the kits you can buy that I showed you, or at least pieces of them. You can buy the stencils, you can buy some paints. They're all linked below. If you want to join the Couture Club, that's what I'm gonna call it right now. That's the one that gives you 30% off. It's $9.95 a month, and then you get a $20 credit. Maybe it's I think it's $9.95 a month. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Follow the link. I'm still learning. And that will give you 30% off. But then if you wanted to do the designer level, there's a link down below for that as well. And you can get 40% off. And you can have all kinds of great projects and great stuff to create lots of really, really cool DIY. So, all right, guys, that is it. And I'm sure as I say goodbye, I'll remember what the class is. So remember what the 6th class would have been. It was a painting class. It was a rainbow trees class. And at the last minute, I did not get to take it because I was going to buy the kit on site and my credit card flagged as a fraud. And then by the time I called American Express and got that all taken care of, the class had already started. So I didn't want to interrupt the class and be falling behind because, again, freehand painting is something that I'm not really good at. And by the way, I did just eat a pickle. So, yeah, they were really good. All right, guys, now you can say goodbye. Take